All right, joining me is Janelle Johnson, who's a digital producer here at ABC10. We asked Janelle if she could come on and share her story with us about working in the media industry in celebration of Black History Month. And we want to welcome you to the show. Janelle, thanks for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
So you are a digital producer here at the station.
That's right.
Tell us what you do.
What don't I do? So my main responsibilities are writing original stories for the website and also turning them also for our newscast. And then I also edit stories from other reporters and make sure that they look and sound good on the web.
So you are in the trenches of news.
Yes,
and
I
everything
am.
that's happening in our community.
Yes.
How did you get started in the business? What made you want to pursue television?
Well, you know what? Actually, I started in high school. My junior year of high school, I needed an elective, and my guidance counselor said, well, what do you want to do? What do you like to do? I said, well, I like writing. I've done some speech competitions. And she said, well, why don't you take a journalism class? And I fell in love with it, and so I decided to pursue it as a career.
So are you from the Sacramento area?
No, I'm not. I'm originally from Gary, Indiana.
Oh, wow. So a little ways from here.
A long ways from here.
How are you enjoying living and working in the Sacramento area? And what do you think about the diversity here?
I love Sacramento. You know, in my career, I've been known to jump around quite a lot from city to city. Every year and a half, I was packing my bags and moving. But I've been here in Sacramento for 4 years, which, you know, that's a record for me. But I really love it here. I love the weather. The people are really nice. I love that Sacramento is one of the most diverse cities in the country. And I think that that gives journalists a lot of room to tell a lot of meaningful stories about those different communities.
I agree. Talk about some of your influences.
Yeah, so I would say my biggest media influence would be my great uncle, Ira Johnson, or Uncle Fonzo, as I called him. He was a radio broadcaster in Chicago back in the day, and I spent a lot of time with him growing up, sitting in his Volvo, listening to news talk radio and asking him, can we please turn on some music? But obviously it seeped into my little brain, and I actually went into radio before coming into television.
Oh, interesting, interesting. What do you enjoy most about your job that you're doing now?
Ooh, I would say that I most enjoy educating people. So if someone reads or listens to or watches one of my pieces, and if they walk away with a new perspective or learning something new, I feel like I've done my job.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Any challenges that you would say you faced as a Black woman in this industry?
You know, I think the biggest challenge facing Black journalists and also other journalists of color, I think, is first convincing your newsroom that telling meaningful stories about Black people and issues affecting Black people, that it's worthwhile. And then once you get over that hump, it's convincing your audience that not only are these stories meaningful, but that they're also truthful. Because a lot of people in the country don't face racism or racism-based discrimination. And so sometimes they don't think it's real, or they think it's an over-exaggeration, and so they may think that our experience is not really what it is. And so I think that those are the biggest challenges that we face.
I would agree. And you saying, you know, you've moved around a little bit. You do learn, like, everywhere you live, it's different perspectives on race and on diversity and things like that. What do you hope that the next generation, what changes do you hope that they can see?
Well, you know what? I honestly would like to see more of us. I would like to see more ownership. I would like to see us strike out more on our own and start our own media outlets so that we can, you know, really get our perspectives and our truths out there the way that we would like to tell them to our own communities.
So why do you think that it's important that everybody, regardless of color, you know, where they come from, why is it's important for all of them to learn about Black history?
You know, Black history is American history. You know, African Americans are such a huge part of this country's history. We're such a huge part of the present. We're going to be a huge part of the future. And I mean, why not learn about your country? Why not learn about the people around you and learn about people's cultures and where they've been and where they're going? It should be required to do that.
Those are some great points, Janelle. And finally, before I let you go, people may want to keep up with you, whatever you're writing about, whatever you're working on. So how can they follow you?
They can follow me on Twitter at Janelle S. Johnson.
Janelle, thanks for being here today.
Thank you so much.
This interview involves commercial content. The products and services featured appear as paid advertising.